You're watching the Mondays with Midja podcast. Midja is founder and CEO of Legal Leadership, a company specialising in the leadership training and coaching of lawyers. Get set to jumpstart your week with a shot of mojo as Midja and her guests talk all things life, love and leadership.
Hey, it's Monday and I'm Midja, and welcome to the podcast all about life, love and leadership. And in the podcast studio today, I have Toni Eisenhut from ABA Legal, and it's wonderful to have you in the podcast studio, Toni.
Thanks, Midja. Great to be here.
I haven't seen you for a little while since you've become a new mum.
Yep.
Want to tell us a little bit about that?
It's been interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, this is your first, right?
Yeah,
Blake?
it's my first. I went on leave very naively thinking, I lead a team of 26. I've got this. How hard
One
can it
baby,
be?
come on, compared to, your role at ABA as Associate Director and
Yep.
looking after all things there.
Yeah.
And this is first day back in the office. Well, you're in the studio, but you have been
Yes.
back in the law firm in the office this morning.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Is liberating the right word?
Are you like, woo? She looks very happy.
I've left my little boss at home.
Yes. Yes.
So no, it's nice. It's good to be back. I've missed it. I've missed work a lot.
Yeah. You have such passion. I know every time we talk about your people and the work, and you just like you light up, not saying you also do that obviously for Blake and your son, but
Yeah.
I know, work is a huge part of your life and on purpose for you as well.
Yeah. I mean, I love what I do, and I've almost my career has been by design of where I wanted it to be and where I wanted it to get to, and I love what I do. I love my clients. I love my people.
Yes.
Just
Yes. So tell us a little bit about that, Toni. I mean, the journey to ABA, and how you got there.
yeah. So I studied law and accounting at university. Went into Deloitte, was my first role. Absolutely loved Deloitte. Had a great mentor and leader there who I still chat with often.
Yes.
And from there, I got poached to go across to Q Super. Worked in-house. That was when they bought their investments in-house.
Okay.
So after they did that, they needed an in-house tax function. So I worked with the investments team there to determine all the after-tax returns.
Right.
Really, really cool role. Meant that I was on the train to Brisbane, though,
I was going to
every
say
day.
that. Yeah, Deloitte's would have been Brisbane as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So on the train to Brisbane for 8 years, there and back.
So you're a coast girl?
Yeah, born in New Zealand. Grew up on the Sunshine Coast and moved to the Gold Coast to go to university. So
Yes, I saw the reference to All Blacks on your Facebook on the weekend. So yes, it should have tweaked. Yes, New Zealander born.
yeah.
Yes.
Then I thought, I'm getting a bit older. It's time to settle down and think about the future a little bit more, and maybe a return to the Gold Coast and start working down there and start building a career down there before
Yes.
I do have children.
Okay.
So that's what I mean when I say by design.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Having that, focus and goal orientated, and being able to, create a plan for your life.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think you've got to look at where you want to be and work backwards.
Yes. So around your leadership style, and what's important, I often ask leaders, like, how would people describe your leadership style?
Yeah.
Or you as a leader, and how does that sit with them as well? So how would people describe your leadership style, Toni?
I would like to think they would describe it as authentic.
Yes.
I'm all about being authentic, being self-aware, acting with humility, and owning your decisions, and
Yes.
equally owning your mistakes.
Yeah, that accountability
Yes.
piece. I suppose role modelling that as a leader then for others to,
Yeah.
for them to do that themselves as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And giving them those skills, modelling
Yes.
that for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the time that you've had off on maternity leave, maybe you have not had you've got a newborn, maybe there has not been a whole lot of time for self-reflection. But is there anything different that you think you'll be bringing to the leadership role, or is it something you've thought about from a work perspective, a leadership perspective, in the time, the breakaway from like every day being in the office?
Yeah, I think in terms of what am I going to bring differently, I think maybe just more enthusiasm and passion, because in terms of my role in the business and my role as a leader, and as I said, self-awareness is very important to me, so I'm quite self-aware. My role is, if you look at it like the visionary and the integrator, I'm the integrator.
Yes.
So I'm the one that makes sure that I know what's going on in the business. I know how the people feel. The people are everything in the services industry.
Yes.
So it'll be bringing that back to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And what have you missed most about not being in the office?
The people.
People. Yeah. You're. I mean, yeah. I know you work for an amazing group of clients, and you do like interesting work as well. But certainly, there's also a great social connection and piece to the ABA group, I know as well.
Yeah, I'm someone that loves to learn. So motherhood has been I've learned so much. It's unreal. Wow, blows my mind. But I think what I love the most about what I do at work and our clients who are entrepreneurial,
yes,
is I'm learning about new concepts, new ideas, new big picture thinking.
Yes.
And because I am that integrator, I think, oh, how do we make that happen? And then I get really excited.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good idea. How do we do it?
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible? Is it feasible? Are the people going to be happy about it, or is that going to upset them?
Yes.
So just, I'm excited to be back with the big ideas.
Yeah. It's great. It's what I enjoy about my work as well, working with, and I know your clients are the same. I get to work with lots of different industries, lots of, here, overseas. So, you see culture differences within organisations. You meet different leaders and different CEOs and different exec teams. I work for government, non-government, not-for-profit. So, if you love to learn and figure out how people are doing business and what ideas they're bringing, it's a great space to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's fantastic.
And so what are you thinking people are wanting from their leadership right now? So if we look at some of our young professionals, maybe, first or second kind of jobs out of university, what are they looking for from work? What are they looking for from their leaders?
Agility.
Yeah, okay.
I think they want to work for organisations that are agile.
Yes.
That are able to move, do things differently. The world's changed. Going to university isn't the be-all and end-all, I don't think, anymore for a lot of the youths coming out of high school. There's so many different career options and so many different paths you can take. So, I mean, people see their friends maybe taking an entrepreneurial journey, or maybe working in trade, or working in business development, or whatever it might be, and they see how much flexibility they have.
Yeah.
And they're not in an office 9 till 5 every day, are they?
Yeah. But still successful, still achieving results, still.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think you need to be anymore.
Yes.
You can do your job from anywhere, and COVID has proven that.
Yeah.
So
was there and so as far as, from that COVID perspective, any other learnings for you, for the team, for the firm?
In terms of COVID, I think, no, just the flexibility. The remote working has really been the big one. We've always been huge believers in it. And that's always been something that we've let our staff do and have empowered them and encouraged them to do. Go down, if you're finding it hard to concentrate in the office, go down to the cafe, go down for a walk at the beach, do whatever you want, whatever you need to do to give the client the outcome that they want.
It's a pretty special spot you guys down at Burleigh Heads as well. It's not bad.
No, it's nice.
It's a nice stroll, have a surf during lunch break.
Yeah.
So it's a great spot.
Yeah, no,
Lots of cafes.
Very outcomes focused. So
yes,
whatever it takes to get the client the outcome they need.
Yeah. And so what sort of lawyers or people are you looking for then? Obviously people that connect with that. Mm-hmm. What other characteristics are you looking for? Maybe advice even for young professionals starting off their careers.
Passion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Passion and enthusiasm. I think you've got to be passionate about what you do. You've got to either love the law
yes,
or love the clients and the outcomes.
Yes.
You've got to be passionate about one or the other. And I think it's important too for graduates to work out, do they want to work in a policy area where the law is changing, or do they want to work in an area where the client circumstances change?
Okay, yes.
So obviously every client is a bit different, but policy special, workplace, tax, all the areas that are changing all the time.
Yeah. Because your background is in tax?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And this is what I love, because I'm meeting, more and more tax lawyers, and certainly breaking the mold or the stereotypes of what people listening might think tax lawyers are like. Because all the tax lawyers I know are super fun and creative, and all of that, which I don't think necessarily you might consider a tax lawyer to be.
There's different types of tax.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I think you just attract what you want, right? So all the tax lawyers I know, and probably that are of a certain breed. Yeah. So I love that.
I remember one of the directors at Deloitte said to me one day, I said, "What do you do? That looks interesting." And he said, "I do sexy tax."
Oh, that's it, sexy tax. I didn't know there was a difference. Okay, so there absolutely is a difference.
There is a difference, a huge difference.
Yeah, love that. For yourself, you did mention early in your career, a mentor, someone around this leadership space, but talk to me a little bit more around, you don't have to name names, but people, concepts, things for you that you've really taken away and learnt from in order to really step up into this leadership space?
I think the biggest thing I've learned I've had 3 amazing mentors and leaders now that I've worked for.
Yes.
And every single one of them is entrepreneurial by nature.
Yeah.
And every single one of them knows what they're not good at.
Okay.
And finds the people that are good at those things and plugs them in.
Yep.
And I think that's the key. You can't do everything.
Yes.
You can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
And it's not effective either.
No, because you're going to be mediocre at a whole lot of stuff that you're not good at.
Yeah.
And not give the time to, what I call your magic, which is where you need to be spending your time and really giving more of that magic.
Yeah.
I suppose that's the same with teams as well, Toni, when you're putting teams together as looking for skill sets or, different strengths within a team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We do a lot of the strength assessments and things like that to work out where the pieces of the puzzle are fitting and what's going on and what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a segment on the podcast called Leader Shit, which is like the shittiest thing we've done as a leader. So a mistake maybe for you that you made, something you've learnt from. It may not be a singular sort of thing, but it may be maybe an approach that didn't work or something that you've changed or developed in your leadership style.
Yeah, I think probably something that I have seen is just you've got to be aware. People are very good at taking on a lot.
Yes.
And you need to pay attention. You need to see when someone's struggling. They're not going to tell you.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to get in there and really not only be self-aware, but be aware of what's happening with your people. Because, as I said, people are key. And if they're struggling, that's not going to end well for anyone.
Yep.
So
what practically do you kind of do in that space?
I think it's about mentoring, coaching, leading them through that.
Yes.
I think you've really just got to get in and identify it and say, hey, I see you're struggling. You might not even be aware of it.
Yes.
You might not even know yet, but I can see it happening. Some people just take on too much.
Yeah. And great intentions, of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But as I said, you can't do it all.
Yeah.
But they haven't realised that yet. So it's about identifying that for them and saying, hey, let's pull up and get you help and in terms of resources.
Yes. And I know, I've seen, the work I've done with ABA, I know a lot of the people in the law firm, and that's what I find is there's certainly a focus on, like obviously conversations, meaningful conversations and connection with people, and finding out the best fit and the best space that person can really excel and do well at. Because I think when it boils down to it, everyone wants to come to work and do their best work and feel valued. I mean, no one wants to come to work and go, well, that was a shitty day and I did nothing and, I'm not contributing. I mean, I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning with that goal to the day. But as I said, sometimes I think as leaders, stepping up and being able to see sometimes what people can't see in themselves, looking at maybe a new opportunity within the firm, and providing that space for that person to move into that role. Yeah, and own that.
That's something I'm super passionate about.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about that a lot.
Yeah, identifying with people. I'll often say to people, you don't want that.
Yeah, you think you think maybe that's, but yeah.
That's not going to fit with, and that's what I mean, like being aware of your people in terms of like getting to know them enough to know that that's not going to fit with their lifestyle for starters.
Yes.
You need something more flexible, or no, you need something 9 to 5, or identifying that for them, because I think in the legal industry, there's certainly historically been this 10 years I want to be partner.
Yeah. That was me. That was the goal. There's no other goal. 10 years partner. Yeah. Boom.
And I think there's so many other options now.
Yeah.
So many other options. I say to people all the time, run your own, you don't need to be a partner, run your own client book at another level and negotiate a revenue share, negotiate a profit share, let's talk different metrics.
Yes, absolutely.
We don't have to go to partner track, and also the risk that comes with partnership. Do you want that risk?
No.
Because that's another huge consideration.
It is. And certainly, I suppose a lot of people that I'm talking to, who are being offered equity, and, it's kind of this time at the moment where, particularly around my group, it might be, they're in their mid-30s to mid-40s. This is now kind of where some, baby boomers are exiting, and so there's equity up for grabs, and just that. I've got some people going, like, that seems like a lot. And I just think it's looking at, what you want to get out of your work, what you value. Yeah. And also, that's different for different people.
Yeah, and I think your family dynamic matters as well there.
Yes.
Do you want to take that risk home?
Yes.
Do you want that on your shoulders? Where are you at in your life? Like, are you going to step out of the business for a certain period of time and be a control freak by nature, and therefore couldn't handle having an equity stake when you're going to step out?
Yes.
Or is it something that your family just aren't ready for, or your partner's in a really risky industry?
Yes.
Considering it as a whole.
Yeah. And that's when really getting to know your people is so important.
And what makes them thrive?
Yes.
Like you get to the top, let's say. Yep. You get to partner, you've got to run a business. Is that what you really want to do? Or are you more focused on client outcomes and let someone else run the business?
Yes.
And you get to help your clients all day. How good's that?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to worry about the numbers and the budgets and everything else because someone else is running all that for you.
Absolutely. I know many lawyers that are either, from that business management kind of perspective, or even from the people leadership experience, that they don't want to people lead a team.
No.
They're like, actually, all this coaching and all this kind of stuff, it's not for me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, let's not do it. But certainly I think that the alternative pathways and an alternate definition or look at success and what that might mean for you and all of that stuff is so important.
Yeah.
And certainly I know for my role at Shine, particularly people had a lot to say around, Midge, but you're now one further removed from the CEO, and now you're one further removed. And don't you want to be the head of this or the head of P&C or this? And I'm like, I actually want to run leadership programs every day and have conversations with people with the flip chart and coach. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So I actually want I want to show up with a new group of people and workshop ideas and stuff. That's what turns me on. And I can't, if I get up into those executive roles, I actually can't do that anymore.
No.
So I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care where I am on an org chart or who I report to, as long as every day I get to turn up and do the work that I want to do.
Yeah.
That took a while though, Toni, for me to, because that status stuff and where I fell on an org chart, that worried me for a little bit.
And that's one of the most challenging things in my role.
Yeah.
Is coaching people through that.
Yeah.
Coaching them through it doesn't matter where your little box sits.
That's right. And that doesn't mean the kind of influence that you can also have and the difference you can make.
No. It's what you're good at. And I mean, I love my role now because I'm a chartered accountant as well.
Yes.
So running the business suits me perfectly.
Yeah, the data, the numbers, all of that. It's your playground, your sandbox.
Yeah, and I want to look after that for my people to go do what they're amazing at, which is the client outcomes and all the rest of it. So
yeah, absolutely. So Toni, on the podcast, it's of course about life, love, and leadership, and so I'm on a bit of a mission to find love, big love. So I take this opportunity to ask my guests about this because I figure why not? I've got them captive in the studio here. So love for you, Toni, and your love story.
It's a long one. So Ben and I, my husband now, father of my little boy now.
Yes.
We met when we were 18.
Oh, I did not know that actually. I didn't know that.
So we met at a mutual friend's 18th birthday party on
that's
Chevron
cool.
Island.
Oh my goodness. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So how long have you guys been together then?
So we didn't get together straight away.
Yep. Okay.
We took our time. I had all these grand plans. I was going to be, the big flash lawyer in London or New York or whatever I was doing at that age.
Yep.
And so we got together when we were 24 and we've been together now 12 years.
Wow. Okay. And did you run in the same sort of circles? Obviously, they're at a party, so they had mutual friends.
We had a lot of mutual friends, so over the course of those 6 years, we bumped into each other a lot.
Yes. Oh, you again. Hello. I imagine you dated other people during that time as well.
Yeah.
So
someone else tamed him for me.
Yeah, love that. Thank you. I'll take him now. Thank you very much.
It's we've known each other a long time.
I look at my son's nearly 19 and he certainly, I would suggest, needs some training and taming before someone takes him on seriously. So I get that.
Yeah.
And so for me out there dating, the Gold Coast, Toni, words of wisdom for me.
Oh,
is there any? Because I'm not doing so well on my own, so I'm just thinking about maybe guests can help me.
We dated pre-internet, so or
yeah.
pre all these apps and things like
Yeah.
that. We've
Back in the good old days, you met people at pubs and parties and mutual friends.
yeah. I think that it's like a client. The soft introduction
Yes.
always helps.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Hear that, people out there? I need soft introductions. Why aren't you people doing that for me? Absolutely. Actually, I was someone the other day. It was on an app, and he reached out and he said, "Are you the Midja? I saw you at Dancing CEOs. You wore the gold number." He goes, "I was there." This was just someone on an app. And he goes, "I was going to come up and congratulate you and introduce you." And I said, why didn't you? Like, we've just happened upon each other on a random dating app, and we were both at this place at the same time, and you were going to come up and introduce yourself, but you didn't. And I find that a lot, that people kind of go either, they know you or that, but they just, I don't know whether it's a courage piece or just a circumstance or the way things are, but they just don't come up and go, "Hey, I'm such and such. It's great to meet you."
Yeah, I find men these days are a lot shyer.
Yes, and look, Toni, you've seen the outfit I was wearing at Dancing CEOs. I mean, maybe not the most approachable outfit or person that night.
Yeah.
So I get that there's probably some reservation around, you want to protect yourself a little bit as well.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, I've got a lot of single mates, and I'll say to them, like, they're the nicest, most amazing men, and I'm like, what? How are you single?
Yes.
But they just don't let anyone get to know them.
Yeah.
And we've got one in particular that all of our girlfriends say, "Oh, if my husband drops off, I know where I'm going."
He's a backup. Yeah. Acts as a reserve there. We like
because
that.
no one, like, he doesn't let people get to know him. But but we all know him.
Yes.
Because he's mates with our husbands.
Yes, absolutely. So he's in that circle.
Yeah, and he's a fantastic, amazing guy.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't put himself out there, like you're saying. They're just not.
Yeah. Yeah, I find that. And maybe it has to be what I hear from others, like right time, like timing, right place, the two of you. And you probably found that with Ben, is that there must have come a time when just things just worked.
Yeah.
You both just clicked.
Yeah.
And then it was just the right time for you guys.
Yeah, and we said that. We actually had that conversation.
Yes.
We're only 24, and we said, look, we individually loved being single.
Yes.
We're very independent people.
Okay. Yeah.
So we had the conversation of, if we're doing this, we're doing it properly this time, and this is it for us.
Yes.
So are we ready?
I love that. Yeah. Are we committing to this? Is this the time for us?
Yeah.
Love that. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to keep being out there, Toni.
Yeah. I think I need to go meet some more men for you.
That's right. That's right. Now you're back at work. You're back out and about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We should definitely get the single girls together with Toni. Out we go. Wing woman Toni. We finish our episodes, Toni, with a bit of, I don't know whether you call it woo-woo, but a message from the universe. Mm-hmm. We have these little cards here, like fortune cookies, but without the cookie part. Yep. They have a message in them. And I have two boxes. I have Carpe Diem or Dream. Which box do you want to pick from?
Carpe Diem.
Carpe Diem. Seize the day. All right, let's open this up. Let's see. So a little pop-up. So you just open the front of the card. Okay.
Big one.
See what it says. Oh, long one, is it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even though we think of the goal as some future state to achieve, the real goal is always the life of this moment. This moment, this moment.
Oh. Well, that's the message for you, Toni. Take that with you. First day back at work. I hope it's a great day. I hope it's a great week for you.
Thank you.
And Toni, if people want to connect, find out more about you, the firm, where can people go? Best places?
Best place is LinkedIn.
Yes, okay.
So find me on LinkedIn, Toni Eisenhut, Toni with an I, Associate Director at ABA Legal Group.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Toni. It's been an absolute delight. Thank you for taking some time out, particularly on your first day.
Thank you.
Back at the office, and hopefully we will catch up again and see more of you. I know that's first 6 months of baby can be, it's an intense time.
Yeah.
We will see Toni out and about. And it is a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. I'm Midja, and thank God it's Monday.
We trust you enjoyed this episode of the Mondays with Midja podcast. Host Midja Fisher is a leadership expert, keynote speaker, coach and facilitator. To find out more about Midja, visit midja.com.au or follow her on Instagram at Midja Fisher. And make sure you subscribe, share and leave a review.